A very good morning, friends. In previous class, I was discussing the topic smart objects. In that smart object topic, already I explained the definition of a smart object, which contains four characteristics. Okay, that is processing unit, then sensors and actuators or sensors or actuators. Then third one was communication unit. Fourth one was power source. Okay, if any object is embedded with these four devices or characteristics, then it is called as a smart object. Okay, so also I was discussing trends in smart objects, and meeting was ended in previous class, right? So let me to continue these trends in smart objects. The trends is nothing but right now what all the which era is going on in these smart objects. Okay, so what type of facilities are there, what are the advancements are there. So this is about trends in a smart object right now, how smart objects are. Okay, so in today's world, so first is size is decreasing. Okay, so already we have studied MEMS. So those MEMSs are very minute MEMSs, inside which these sensors and actuators are embedded. So some smart objects are very small or very minute, that they are not visible to our naked eyes. Okay, so we have to use maybe microscopes to see these object codes. That much smallest and minute smart objects are there. Okay, so inside this small smart objects, you just imagine how actuators, sensors, and power source and processing unit, these all are embedded, how much small they are. Okay, so this is a size is decreasing, size of object, smart object is decreasing. Next one is power consumption is decreasing. So in this whole smart objects, the only one component which is consuming a more power is a communication unit. Okay, so even due to the advancement of technology, so nowadays these smart objects are not consuming a more power, they are consuming less power. Hmm. So here if some sensors are taking any power, okay, so they are taking very less amount of power. And sometimes sensors are passive here, it means they never take any power also. Okay, so some sensors or some smart objects operate based on the battery. So if they are operating on based on battery, then they have a 10 years of life. At least they will last for 10 years without any battery replacement, new battery. Okay. Next, third one is processing power is increasing. Processing power is nothing but the speed of processor. Okay. The speed of processor or CPU or processing unit is keep on increasing day by day. At the same time, the size of those units or CPU are becoming smaller. So however, the size of these CPUs are becoming smaller, but their efficiency or speed is keep on increasing day by day. Okay, so these all are some advancements in smart objects. Next, one more advancement is communication capabilities are improving. It means since we are connecting these all smart objects, and inside these smart objects, there are so many other components are there. So these all are connected in wireless mode. Okay, so if these all are connected in a wireless fashion, even though they are connected in wireless fashion, there is no compromise in speed. Okay, so there is always high speed of data transmission, high speed of communication is there. Okay, so communication is keep on increasing even though it is connected in a smart objects are connected in a wireless fashion. Okay, so at the same time their range is also increasing, because so since it is wireless, so its strength may be up to 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, up to 5 meter maximum. If you consider your Wi-Fi router only, So it has its own capacity. After some certain distance, it stops to send the signal to your device, right? Or your device stops to receive the signal from your Wi-Fi. Similarly, here also, even though they are connected in wireless, the range of these smart objects is keep on increasing day by day. Earlier 1 meter was there, now it is a 2 meter. Maybe tomorrow it may be increased to 3 meter, like this. So year by year, okay, so day by day, month by month, so these capacity of communication, capabilities of communications are also keep on improving, okay. And for communication, this IoT network or smart object network or sensor networks, they have their own communication protocols, like our transport protocol, TCP, UDP, internet protocol, IP, right? So like this, for communication between one smart object to another smart object, so they have their own communication protocols. And we will come to this communication protocols, what are those and all those things. We will discuss about this in the next topic, okay. And also, communication is being increasingly standardized. It means the standard protocols are started to be developed and used in these communications, okay. So there is a strong push or encouragement or motivation in the industry to develop open standards for IoT communication protocols, okay. So in industry, who all are working on this IoT, particularly they are working on protocols communications, okay. So they are always encouraged or they are always motivated to develop open standards for IoT communication protocols. Open standards means what? They are freely available. They are freely available. Protocols, no, for protocols no need to pay, okay. So these IoT communication protocols are going to be developed, very advanced protocols day to day, okay. So in addition to these protocols, there are some more and many more open source efforts to advance the IoT. It means to make this IoT as a most advanced technology, apart from this open source communication protocols, there are so many other efforts are also there, to which we no need to pay, okay. So this type of advancements are coming in the IoT. And the power of the real importance of IoT is coming to the picture, or it is unlocked only when smart objects are networked together in sensor actuator networks. It means that, so this sensor actuator networks, this is one special type of network it is. In short, this type of networks are called as SANET, 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 because sensor actuator networks. I have not written here, okay. This type of networks are called as SANET because they may be combination of one or more sensors and actuators, one or more sensors or actuators in these networks. As its name itself is, it is a networks. Network means the elements are connected to each other. Which elements are connected here? Particularly sensors, okay. And if you want to improvise your network to do some activities through that network, then you have to connect actuators to these sensors, okay. So in any SANET, there may be sensors as well as actuators, and these SANETs, that is sensor actuator networks, should have these smart objects. I mean, the smart object network should be connected with these SANET, okay. So then only we will come to understand the real power or importance of IoT, okay. So next topic is that only, that is sensor networks. Even though the topic name is, or its name is sensor network, it's name itself is a sensor network. It is a network of sensors, but for only namesake, because there are not only sensors, along with sensors, some actuators are also there. Okay, so in a SANET or sensor actuator network, as its name itself suggests us, it is a network of sensors and or actuators. Then what these sensors do, already you know, they sense the environment and they measure the environment in which they are working. Similarly, after sending that data, sensor data or sensor reading to actuators, what these actuators do, already you know, these actuators change the physical world. They make some effect inside the physical world. Okay, they act on their environment. They act on their environment. They make some movement. Okay, so these are SANET, as its name itself, sensor actuator network. So both sensors are there, or and actuators are there. Sometimes they may be only sensors. Okay, next, the sensors and actuators in SANET, they have a capability to communicate with each other and cooperate with each other. See the beauty of SANET. Okay, if in a SANET both sensors and actuators are embedded or connected, then these sensors and actuators have very proper communication. They have well advanced communication. Okay, and in between them there is a very good cooperation. Okay, because sensors have to send the data to actuators, then only actuators do the activities. So because of there should be a proper communication between them and proper cooperation between them. Okay, so this type of effective communication or well coordinated communication, okay, to achieve such kind of communication and cooperation is a main challenging task for us. So what we do, SANETs usually provide us SANETs usually provide us highly coordinated sensing and actuation capabilities. It means that these SANET, that is network of sensors and actuators, they know very well how to take the work from these sensors and to make best use of that sensed data. So because of that, they allow, they encourage, they motivate these sensors to do their task and actuators to do their tasks. It means, so whatever the capabilities, whatever the support, whatever the infrastructure, whatever the facilities these sensors and actuators want to do their task, like sensing the environment and acting on that environment, so these SANET will provide a clear and completely supported environment for these sensors and actuators to work. It means whatever they want, like for example power supply and all those things, whatever the sources they want, everything it provides. Okay, so it means a SANET improves the efficiency of sensors and actuators, their capabilities, their coordination, their cooperation, their communication, everything it improves. Okay, then best example for SANET is smart homes. Smart home is an example of SANET because these smart homes clearly show us the coordination and communication between such type of devices like sensors and actuators. For example, if our home is a smart home, it means that it is a type of SANET. If it is a SANET, definitely in our home there are some sensors are there and some actuators are there. Among those sensors, if I take one example, temperature sensors may be present in our smart home. And what these sensors do, definitely they will measure the temperature of the environment, of the living room, of the home. Okay. Okay, these sensors will generate some readings, and based on those readings the actuators take their action. Okay, suppose if the climate is very cold, climate is very cool, your complete home is very cold and chilled, then temperature will be definitely low. Okay, temperature sensors measure the temperature as very low temperature, then that temperature data or reading will be sent to actuator, particularly which actuator? Heating actuator, its opposite actuator. So heating actuator starts to heat your home by producing some heat inside your home. Okay, so if temperature sensor measures humidity, and in climate more humidity is there, okay, completely sweating is there, there is no any air inside the house. Okay, then ventilation actuators will be activated and they start to ventilate your entire home. Okay, suppose if the climate is very hot, the temperature is high, based on that reading of sensors, actuators start their activities. That is, here actuator is nothing but air conditioning. The AC will start to cool your entire home or your room, right? So here temperature sensor is connected to HVAC actuators. What is this HVAC? These all together they are called as HVAC. Heating actuator, ventilation actuator, air conditioning actuators. Okay. So whenever a sensor, this temperature sensor detects or measures a specific temperature. Okay. So this will trigger an actuator. It means it sends that temperature reading to actuator and it makes to take some action. Okay, and actuator will take that suitable action, and this can trigger an actuator to take action and heat or cool the home as required or needed. Okay, so such type of networks inside your home, sensors and actuators, okay, connection between all sensors and all actuators, this is a network inside your home, so that is called as SANET. So these SANETs, okay, these SANETs can be connected in a wired or wireless fashion. If it is a wireless, okay, just assume that these all devices inside your home, they are connected in a wireless fashion. What is the advantage and what are the disadvantages? We will see now. Okay, if it is wired, you just imagine inside your home everywhere wires and wires are there. Okay, so if it is wireless, then what all advantages we will get and what are the disadvantages we will discuss now. Okay, so advantages are greater deployment flexibility. Okay, it means we can easily deploy these devices. It means that, so there are some places are there inside our home where any human body cannot reach there. Okay, a very small space is there to make wiring and all those things to work in that place. Similarly, just you go and fix the sensors which are wireless sensors and actuators. Okay, so deployment problem will not be there. So easy deployment or flexible deployment. Okay, greater flexibility in deployment and simpler scaling to a large number of nodes. It means since it is wireless, there is no question of wiring in your home. So you just install how many number of nodes you want, that many number of nodes inside your home. How many sensors you want to install. Not only temperature sensor, you can install so many other sensors and other actuators. Okay. So if you want to increase the scaling means number of nodes or devices, you can easily increase that. There will be no any problem or issue. Then third advantage is low power implementation. Sorry, low cost implementation, lower implementation of cost. It means that since we are not spending money on wires, the cost is less here. Lower implementation costs. Okay, to implement these all things in our home, so cost is very less. It will be very cheaper for you. It will be not expensive for you. Okay, then easier long-term maintenance. So since wires are not there, anything is not there, just device is in their own places, then maintenance will be also very easy. In fact, no need to bother about their devices and their maintenance. They will do their work automatically. Okay, easy maintenance and effortless introduction of sensors, actuator nodes. See, so no need to insert a new node or remove a node from your home or your network. Why? Because they are wireless, right? So easily, if you want to insert any new sensor or actuator inside your network or your home, you can fix it. If you want to remove it, you can easily remove it. So easy installation, easy introduction, easy removal of new nodes. Okay, so better equipped to handle the dynamic topology changes. Whenever the topology of network dynamically changes, easily we can handle this topology or we can handle these devices. We can handle the network. Okay. Then disadvantages are less secure. Okay. So due to the wireless connection of these all devices or nodes inside a SANET, the security will be less. They are less secure. For example, some access points will be there. So those access points can be hijacked. Hijacked means you just imagine since they are wireless, if you have fixed one sensor or one actuator in the main entrance of your house, okay, which is outside of your main door, okay, so no, any thief can come and take that device. He can steal that device. So access points or these nodes wherever you have fixed them, so those can be hijacked. So less secure and lower transmission speeds. So because of wireless connection, the transmission speed may be low here. Okay. So then greater level of impact or influence by the environment. So these all are advantages and disadvantages of a SANET if it is a wireless. Okay. So then we will see wireless sensor networks. So already you understood advantages of disadvantages of them. Now we will see how exactly they look like and everything. Okay. And what are the limitations of smart objects inside these wireless networks. Okay. So not only the network has their disadvantage or limitation, inside that wireless networks, so many devices are we are connecting, right? Sensors, actuators, like smart objects. So those devices also have some limitations or disadvantages. We are taking one more step inside. We are going one step deeper now. Okay. So wireless sensor networks are made up of wirelessly connected smart objects. Remember, wireless sensor networks are made up of wirelessly connected smart objects. Okay. Sometimes these wireless networks are called as modes. Okay. Or else these wirelessly connected smart objects are called as modes. So wireless sensor network is nothing but it is a network of modes. So here I am going to show you one figure that is showing some of the conditions which are present in our wireless networks. Constraints means what? Conditions. Okay, or some limitations. What are those? We will see now. See here. Moderate CPU power. Moderate word is there. You know already object, smart object. What are the components or characteristics of a smart object, right? Power unit, sensors and actuators, then communication unit, then power source. These are our components of a smart object or characteristic of a smart object, right? So here we are going to see the limitation of each and every component now. So already I told you CPU, the power of CPU, that is speed of CPU. So the speed of CPU may be moderate, okay, in wireless network. The speed of this CPU may be moderate. It means it is not so much slow also, it is not so much fast also. On an average, the CPU is going to process the data. The processing speed is average speed, moderate speed. Okay. So just now in previous topic I told you, in the previous slide I told you, the speed of CPUs are keep on increasing day by day, right? In the trends of smart objects. But if you connect those smart objects in wireless networks, then the speed of CPU will be reduced. Then this is one constraint or limitation of these smart objects. Then when they are connected in wireless, okay. Then next one is low memory. Memory is very low. You cannot embed the memory which is having a higher capacity. So memory is a less amount of memory. And communications. Communication may be lossy communication. It means suddenly if a smart object is communicating with another smart object or sensor is sending the data to actuator, then suddenly communication breaks down and the data will be lost. Sometimes communication may be lossy. Okay. So we cannot give a guarantee that 100% communication. Then net narrowband media. Narrowband media means this device is which device it is? It is a communication unit, right? Narrowband media. It means narrow band. Bandwidth is less here. Okay, bandwidth is less means automatically the speed of data transmission will be becomes slow, right? So next, power consumption is critical. So power consumption is critical. It means that this device, okay, power source is not providing sufficient or enough power to all these devices. And also the devices which are consuming the power, they started to consume more amount of power. So this type of critical problems may arise if we connect these type of smart objects in a wireless network, wireless sensor networks. Are you understanding? These all are limitations: moderate, low, lossy, narrow, okay, critical. These all are negative words, right? So these all are design constraints for wireless smart objects. So when we design these smart object network, wireless smart object network or wireless sensor network, and these are the limitations what we have to keep in our mind when we design this type of smart objects for wireless sensor networks. Okay. Now we will see the following are some of the limitations of smart objects in the wireless network. The same points I discuss here: limited processing power, limited memory, lossy communication, limited transmission speed, and limited power. Okay, some 5 limitations are there. Don't get confusion with the first one and last one. First one is limited processing power. It is a speed of power, capacity of processor, speed of processor. But last one is it is related to your current supply, that is limited power. Okay, then at the cost of sensor nodes decreases, it means when the cost or price of these sensor node decreases, definitely people can purchase more number of sensors, and they can implement or they can deploy more number of sensors. So if price or cost of sensors decreases, definitely deployment of these sensors will be increases. Okay, so once the number of sensors increased, this large number of sensors will introduce or will provide us a hierarchy of smart objects. Hierarchy of smart objects. It means different levels of these smart objects, different layers of these smart objects. Because n number of sensors are there, we have to make them into a group, and those groups are called as levels or layers of these smart objects. Then the entire system is called as hierarchy of this smart object. Okay, so such type of groups or group of sensors or hierarchy of these smart objects aggregate similar sensor readings from a sensor nodes which are close to each other. It means that, so these all n number of sensors are embedded in one wireless sensor network, and their distance is also very close. They are very much closer to each other, and they are generating some data, okay, by measuring or by sensing something. For example, since they are located in the same place, since they are very close to each other, they may measure the temperature of that place. All sensors are measuring a temperature. All sensors are temperature sensors only. Just imagine. Okay, some 5 to 6 sensors you have fixed in a place, and all those sensors are measuring the temperature of that same place. Definitely, of course, obviously, right? So then how to take the data from these sensors, which data particularly, which is a true here. So because of that only, this hierarchy, what it does, it means the group of sensors and actuators and everything, entire system. Okay, what it does in that level, in that layer, okay, one sensor will be like a boss. Okay, among these some 5 to 6 sensors, one sensor will be a boss. The remaining all sensors, whatever they have measured the temperature reading, so those all reading will be sent to this boss, and that sensor, boss sensor, okay, it will take the average of those all temperatures received by different sensors. Okay, so it aggregates the similar sensor readings. Now I show you one diagram, you will come to understand very clearly. Okay, don't worry. So next diagram shows one example of such data aggregation function. Remember, data aggregation function is a major function of a wireless sensor network, because so many sensors are there. All sensors are giving you the data from a same place, and which one is a true, which one is a false, or which one is a fake, how to get it, and how to take one particular value for that place. So because of that only, you take all the data from all the sensors and you just take the average of that data. That is nothing but data aggregation, okay, which performs by the hierarchy. Okay, this is a data aggregation function in wireless sensor network, in which temperature readings from various sensors are aggregated as an average temperature reading. I will show you one diagram here. You can see here, these all some 6 sensors are here. They all are temperature sensors. They are measuring the temperature of one particular place. Okay, so these all are sending the measured data to this central point. It means that that central point is nothing but this one. This is also a sensor which is acting like a team leader or boss of this hierarchy. Okay, so this sensor takes reading from all these sensors and it takes average of these all readings, then it will give the temperature to us or to the actuators as a 11.7 degrees Celsius, which is the average of these all values. If you want, you calculate. Okay, it is a average of these all readings. So these data aggregation techniques or these data aggregation functions are very useful or helpful for us because this aggregation ultimately it reduces the traffic in our wireless network. How, sir? How it will reduce the traffic? It is a common sense. Instead of sending the data from each and every sensor to the top layer in the hierarchy, only one reading will be sent to the top level or top layer in the hierarchy by the boss sensor, right? Inside the level, inside the layer only, one boss sensor is there, okay? One head of that layer, okay? So that layer, that boss sensor or that head sensor takes the reading from all sensors and it takes the average of it. Then it sends that only one data to the top layer or top level of our hierarchy or in the entire network. Instead of sending all the readings from all the sensors to the top layer, only one data is going on there, right? So like that, in that way, we can reduce the total traffic of our wireless sensor network. Okay, if our wireless network is connected or made up of or constructed with a very large number of smart objects. Okay, so in such type of situations, we can reduce the traffic of our wireless sensor network by aggregating the data. By aggregating the data. Remember, okay? So wirelessly connected smart objects generally have one of these following two communication patterns. It means, so I was talking about the communication unit there in smart objects, correct? So these communications, one smart object will communicate with another smart object. So how, in which pattern they are communicating with each other? So there are two ways are there. How they communicate? The first one is event driven pattern. Second one is periodic pattern. What are these meanings? You just remember these headings. You will understand and you will write on your own in your exam. Event driven is nothing but the communication takes place only when some event has occurred or else there is some cutoff value, and if that cutoff value, if some data is increased that cutoff value, at that time only the smart objects will communicate with each other. It means that something should happen there, some problem should arise there, some issue should come there, then only they start a communication. That is called as event driven. Second one is periodic. So there is no any problem, there is no any issue. For our safer side, for every 1 hour or for every 2 hour, we are sending the data from one smart object to another smart object. That is one sensor to actuator or one sensor to another sensor, like this. One device to another device. Periodically, you have set it. You have made the setting in that network. How it is? You are sending the data or transmitting the data of a sensor, that is sensed by the sensors or information sensed by the sensor at a periodic intervals. Periodic intervals means constant time periods. For every 1 hour, for every 2 hour, you are sending the data. Okay, sending the data is nothing but communicating with another device. So best example is if in a hospital a patient is there I think you might have observed there some assistants of main doctors will keep on taking the blood pressure level from you and sugar level from you, temperature of your body from you for every 1 hour or 2 hour. In fact, in the night duty also, the nurses will take these all readings for every 1 hour or 2 hour if they take care really about their patients, if they really worry about their patients. Okay. Okay. So for every 1 hour or 2 hours, they are taking the measurement of temperature, body temperature, blood pressure, and etc. So that is called as periodic. Periodic. But event driven means, so here I just told you manually they are taking the readings, nurses. Okay, nurses manually taking the readings. But if some sensors or some devices are taking the readings from the patient, so we have to make a setting, and for based on the periodic intervals, they take the readings of blood pressure and temperature. Okay. Then event driven means what here? If the threshold value, okay, so if the reading of your temperature, of your blood pressure, okay, so if it has a threshold value, definitely blood pressure has some common standard value as a normal value as 120/80. If this threshold value is increased by any reading or decreased, it means high BP or low BP occurs, then any symptoms comes inside the patient. At that time only, these sensors start to send that data. Then only they will take some action. Okay. So this is called as event driven. So event driven means the transmission of sensory information is triggered only when a smart object detects a particular event or predetermined threshold. Okay. Then periodic means what? Transmission of sensory information occurs only at a periodic intervals. Then who will take the decisions, whether to transmit the data or communicate based on event driven or periodic? That is completely dependent upon the particular application. Okay. The particular application is a medical application. I have taken as an example here. In medical application, there are critical situations are there for patients. So because of that, instead of event driven, we should communicate periodically. Are you understanding? So communication protocols for wireless network sensors, wireless sensor networks, communication protocols. Okay. So why we want these communication protocols? You know, I am again and again telling, in wireless sensor networks, smart objects, I mean sensors and actuators and all those devices are connected in wireless fashion, and to allow them to communicate with each other, we should have communication protocols. Okay, in fact, in our computer networks also, in our OSI model or in our TCP/IP, we have communication protocols there, right? Some protocols for each and every layer. Okay, and already you know what is protocol. Protocol is nothing but set of rules which will govern the communication between the devices, right? Similarly, here also these protocols are governing the communication between one smart object to another smart object in wireless sensor network. Okay. So what exactly these communication protocols do? So what all the communication protocols are available for us right now in IoT? Okay. So these all things we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Let me to continue this topic in a next class about the communication protocols. Okay. So have a nice day. You can leave the meeting, attend the next classes now.